In the village of Umuanuri, where the hills wore cloaks of deep green, the Anayo family lived under a silent curse. Their farm, once the most fertile, now yielded mega harvests. Their compound, once lively with laughter, was now too quiet, save for the drumming of rain on a leaky roof. The elders nodded knowingly. The problem, they said, was not in the soil or the sky, but on the family's own hearth. There sat the Ike Oma, the vessel of providence, a calabash of ancient dark polish, inlaid with a spiral of cowrie shells that mirrored the constellation that watched over Umuanori's birth. It held no food or water, but the family's shared spirit, their unity, their purpose, their fortune. For generations, it sat whole, and the Anayos thrived. Its fracture was as quiet as it was catastrophic. The night their father was buried, the three siblings, Ineka, Chidi, and Amina, sat in exhausted silence by the hearth. Without a touch, without a sound, a single clean crack split the calabash from rim to base. The cowrie shell seemed to dim, and from that moment, misfortune took root in their home like a stubborn weed. Years passed. The siblings drifted apart, carrying their pieces of grief. Ineka, the eldest, built a life of concrete and logic in the distant city as a civil engineer. She saw the family's decline as a series of solvable problems, bad irrigation, poor maintenance, and sent money, but her visits were brief, her solutions clinical. Chidi, the middle child, was a nomadic artist, his soul as restless as his hands were skilled. He saw the family's story as a tragic, beautiful tale, but one he observed from a distance through the lens of his camera or the stroke of his brush. Amina, the youngest, remained. She tended the failing farm, answered the villagers' pitying glances, and dusted the broken calabash on the hearth. She carried the weight of the fracture in her stooped shoulders and weary eyes. The family's spirit, like the vessel, was held together by habit and memory alone. The final straw was the flood. A seasonal downpour, which other homes weathered, breached their compound wall and drowned their last viable crop. The village head, an old friend of their father, came to deliver the hard truth. "The crack has grown too wide," he said, his eyes on the fractured gourd. "The world sees your family as broken, and so it treats you so. The Ike Oma must be made whole, or you will lose everything. The land, this house, it must be the blood of the ones who witnessed the fracture. The three of you must mend it." His words were a summons, a final, non-negotiable demand from the world itself. And so, with reluctance, duty, and a flicker of desperate hope, the scattered siblings were called home to face the symbol of their undoing.